Okay, all my brothers and sisters on our flat dome stationary Earth. I met this guy. What's your name?
John.
How you doing, John and Frankie? How you doing? And who do you work for now?
Well, I'm retired.
Who would you work for?
I was a consultant, aerospace consultant.
So what does that mean? Like, what do you?
I was a consultant. I consulted on business practices and theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I have 2 bachelors and an MBA in mathematics.
awesome, man. It's good. How old are you anyway? Just ask.
I'm 55.
I'm 63. Yeah. Oh, can you hold on 1 minute? Yeah. Thank you so much. All right, so I was waiting online here in Walgreens, and I started talking to you randomly, and I said to you, "Hey, do you know the Earth is flat?" And you told me, "Well, it's more than that. It's really crazy people on the planet." And I said, "You're not kidding." But then I started telling you that there's 200 proofs stating the Earth is flat, and not one proof that we live on a spinning ball flying through space.
There's actually lots of proof that that's exactly what it is.
Can you tell me one? Because I like...
Well, just the fact that we've got spacecraft that I've actually helped work on that's out there, taking pictures of us. We've got the Voyager spacecraft that launched in the 1960s that's left our solar system, shooting back images of our solar system. All of the planets are all spherical.
Yeah, they're all like
spherical. They're all round, and they all revolve around the Earth. I mean, that's been proven for 1,000 years.
Well, I have a good telescope, and they say there's what, like 17,000 satellites up there now?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't see any.
Well, of course not. You can't, because they're in space. In order to see them, if you look online and you look at the passing times of the International Space Station, you can actually see the International Space Station crossing over the sky at dusk when the sun shines off of it and hits it.
Okay, so how come there's not one video of showing its construction? That's supposed to be the largest thing ever made in space.
There's video of the construction of the space station.
Nobody's seen it.
Well, I can bring it up and show it to you right now.
Yeah, bring it up, and we'll look at it. In the meantime, I told you that the sun and the moon are inside the dome.
There is no dome. Space goes on forever.
That's what they say. And right now there's supposed to be a probe on Mars.
There is actually more than one.
And they're sending back those images, but you don't. Are they real images or CGI images?
I would assume that they're real.
You would assume they're real?
I wouldn't stake my life on the fact that it's not CGI to give us an idea. But I'm sure that a lot of the pictures that come from Mars are real.
Okay, because all the images we get from NASA, which in Hebrew means to deceive, and their logo has a serpent's tongue in their logo. You know that?
Okay.
Did you notice that, though?
The process of the assembly of the International Space Station has been underway since the 1990s. This is video of the actual construction in outer space.
That looks really, I don't know, that looks...
There's no interference. You're talking about pure images. You see the ozone layer of the Earth. You see the curvature of the Earth. You can't get that if the Earth is flat.
Right, but how do we know those are real? You know what I'm saying? Because the reason why I say that is because most images we get are all CGI images.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
If the Earth was flat, we wouldn't be able to launch things into space.
Well, they say they're just expensive bottle rockets. They go up.
Have you ever seen these things? Seen a rocket launch?
Oh yeah, I did it. Well, I was in Cape Canaveral 2 years ago, and all I saw was go up like this, and then supposedly going around the curvature of the Earth and then going into space. Right. But we know almost every one of them just go into the ocean. They're expensive bottle rockets.
You have satellite TV?
I have the dish.
You have dish, right?
Yeah.
Satellite TV.
Everything's ground-based.
not ground-based.
Everything's
It
ground-based.
can't be ground-based.
Why not?
Well,
Well, our phones
ground-
are.
Huh?
Well, our phones are.
That's not necessarily true at all.
Well, then how come we don't get? How come I can go around the block and lose reception, but yet NASA can send
Interference,
images?
interference, there's
The most-
static interference.
Of course, but I'm saying, but yet NASA can send us perfect images of deep space past the Milky
Well,
Way,
they're not
clear.
perfect, but you understand.
Where's that technology?
Yeah,
We don't get it.
Oh, absolutely, we have it.
Well, we don't
We have
get
the
it. Normal
technology.
guys like me and you, my phone goes off around the corner.
We have the technology right here. This used to take up an entire building in the
Right.
1960s. There's your technology. I mean, look at how far we've come since the 60s with our technology. We have a whole computer in the palm of our hand that can hold 10, 12, 16 gigabytes of information, unheard of. So that's your technology. And that's minor. That's stuff that's built every day for a couple $100. We're talking about a government that spends millions of dollars.
Well,
Now it's in
NASA
the
takes
housing.
52 million a day from us.
Okay. Well, I don't know that they do.
It's
Maybe they-
52 million a
Maybe
day.
they did before, but
No, it's
NASA
52 million.
NASA doesn't go into space anymore. It's all privately held businesses like SpaceX.
So what are we paying for? Why are we paying 52 million
Well,
a
I
day?
can tell you.
I'm just asking because that's a lot of money.
For discovery, and you're also talking about now the building of an armed forces in space.
Yeah, but then we have that bullshit. You're as old as me. When Ronald Reagan said the same thing, we have to build that Star Wars weapons program,
Star Wars
and none of that was built.
Star
We paid all that.
Wars
None. We never seen it.
It's
If we
it's
did, it was
absolutely
CGI
there.
images. We
Yeah,
never
have-
seen it.
We have satellites in space that can shoot down nuclear missiles out in space.
Well, they say there's no such thing as nuclear. Atomic there is, not nuclear.
Oh, of course there is.
Well, that's what they say.
Enriched uranium? Absolutely.
Atomic, not nuclear.
Atomic is different than uranium.
I know that, but
And there is nuclear.
well, when I went on a cruise 2 years ago, I met this guy that works on all these battleships and these submarines and everything, and I got to know him like 4 or 5 days, and he told me, Frankie, I've never seen a nuclear weapon on any submarine or any battleship I was on. Not
Yeah,
one.
no, first of all, in order to gain access, you have to have a top secret security clearance. Did he have one?
But I'm not
No,
sure.
those are the guys that work on those. Actually, my brother-in-law is a nuclear missile tech in the Air Force.
And he said, in other words,
Absolutely.
so in other words, if we have all
I
these
spent-
nuclear weapons, how come one never went off?
What do you mean?
If there's down, they
One
say
has
there's.
never been launched, but there has been accidents, nuclear accidents, in
Where?
silos.
That's what they say, but then is it real pictures?
Well,
When you see those nuclear bombs going off,
you can make a conspiracy out of anything.
oh, definitely. But this is like this is the biggest lie in all mankind.
Well, actually, the dollar bill is the biggest lie of all mankind. But
I hear you, but a lot of people are waking up because they're tired of the lies.
there's
know?
a lot of lies. There are some things that are for sure. The Earth is round. We do have nuclear weapons, and we are manning a space station in space. Those are absolute 100% fact.
See, a lot of people don't believe. I personally don't believe it at
I
all.
understand, and everybody's entitled
It's like
to
the
believe.
moon. You
But-
say we went to the moon.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so
Once.
okay, so the last time we were there was how long ago? 35, 40 years ago?
In the early 70s, maybe late 60s.
Okay, so in other words, when we went there, supposedly, first of all, you can't land on a light. But anyway,
It's not a light.
Well,
it's
yes,
a
it is.
solid rock.
well, the thing is, we went there in the 70s, and we never went back. So in other words, when they went there in the 70s, that was it. We didn't have to explore it anymore.
That's right.
Did you ever think of that?
No. Why,
But yeah,
why would we?
Well, why are we
Why
going
know
to
where we go?
Mars? Why are we
because-
spending all that money to Mars
Because
when it's a dead planet? That when you get there, I always thought if you went to some place and spent all that money to get there, and you knew when you got there you can't even live there,
You can't
why
live there.
bother going
You
there?
absolutely can live on Mars.
You can live on Mars?
Not the way it is right now.
Let's just say, why go there?
Because have you seen the overpopulation on this planet? That would give us a whole nother. I mean, we're colonizing the universe. Why else is it there? Absolutely.
I drive across country and I go hundreds and hundreds of miles in every direction. And I see nothing but land.
Right. And do you want that taken up?
I didn't say I wanted it taken up, but I see it with my own eye.
And what if something were to happen to this planet? Where would we go?
Well, we cannot break through the dome.
Oh, absolutely. We've already proven that. We've got 2 spacecraft from the 1960s that have already left our solar system.
And they're what? They're still sending pictures back?
No.
So how do you know? How do you know where they are? How do you know where they are?
Radio transmissions back. They can measure. They can measure distance. And you're talking about guys that are absolute math geniuses. Numbers can do anything. And I understand it. You're entitled to your opinion.
No, I know. I'm not trying to argue with you. I just try to find out like the truth is. That's what we're here for. We want to know the truth.
The only way you'll ever be convinced of the truth is if you physically go, and that will never happen.
Well, then how can you prove it then if you can't get there? That's what I'm saying. You could tell me, hey, Frankie, there's a gold mine down the block, but I can't.
I've worked on projects in the aerospace industry that would lead me to believe that none of that is a lie.
So in other words, you believe that we're going around the sun.
Absolutely.
And
prove it.
We're spinning 1,000 miles an hour. And we're flying through space at 66. How fast is it, they say? Like how fast is the Earth spinning?
Huh? Earth is like 1,300 miles an hour.
All right, so 1,300 miles an hour. But then again, how is that water?
You're talking about gravity.
Gravity is.
You need it to stay on the ground.
Gravity is, well.
And we've proven gravity here on Earth by declining spacecraft or aircraft. If you take an aircraft and then you do this with it, you float.
So how come they call the airplane instead of air curve? And doesn't water always find its level? So if we're spinning 1,300 miles per hour and we're flying through space and the whole solar system is going with us, and all the stars are always in the same spot, how do they all follow us?
Let's say the world's flat. What's underneath it? It's flat. How thick is it?
Well, we only can go 7.5 miles down. Then
That's
we can't.
As far as we've ever drilled with a big drill.
You can't break through it. You cannot break through it.
Well, you can.
No, no way. That's a fact.
Well, you can't
look it up
because it's too hot. That's all the. Okay, so
how do they know?
So it's only.
How do they know it's molten level there if they never went there, never seen it?
We got it coming out of volcanoes on Hawaii right now.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but how deep does it go?
Hundreds of thousands of miles.
So in other words, if I was to dig through the Earth, the round ball, I would end up in China.
Well, I don't know where you would end up.
That's what I'm saying, man. It sounds kind of crazy.
You would end up somewhere if you went all the way through the Earth. But that could never happen. That could never happen. And everything that would ever get close to the center of the Earth would melt.
But you know what they say? Like a lot of people say, well, if the Earth is flat, we will fall off the edge. Okay? The thing is, but the thing is, we are surrounded
by
a giant ice wall. And we don't know what's on that other side.
Okay, if that was the case, you're driving along the Earth and you get to the edge. If there was truly an edge on this flat Earth, how are planes flying around in the sky?
How what?
How are planes flying around in the sky?
Well, they go off radar if they're in the southern hemisphere. If that was the case, why do planes go off the?
How is it up there?
How's what up there?
If the world is flat.
Why they call it airplane instead of air curve?
Because it planes through the air. It's the wings are plane. That's why they call it airplane.
We don't know what's over that ice wall.
Aircraft.
I hear you. But the North Pole is in the center of the dish. And if you were to leave and go east, west, anywhere, as far as you can go, you will hit that ice wall.
Well, but
and we don't know what's over it.
There's 2 poles.
There's no such thing as a South Pole.
There absolutely is.
The South Pole is a ring of ice.
It's the Arctic Circle.
It's the ring of ice that surrounds, that holds the waters
pole.
in.
The other one's at the top. Earth sits at an axis of about 25 degrees.
How come we don't see it? How come we don't see the dark side of the moon?
Because the moon revolves with us.
But if there's all those satellites up there,
but we have,
why
we've
cannot?
seen the dark side of the moon.
Who's we?
Spacecraft.
We never seen it.
Well, unless you go, you're not gonna leave.
Well, if there's all those satellites up there, how come none of them doesn't do a 90-degree turn and show us the Earth spinning? I mean, if they had that, they could put that on a channel on TV 24 hours a day.
It's not up there firing jets going around the Earth. That's not how it works.
But they're still up there.
Yeah, they're up there.
They're past the moon. Are they past the moon?
No, they're not past the moon.
They're inside them. They're where are they?
Between us and the moon.
Then how come we don't see them?
You do. You can see them.
I don't see any satellites.
If you look through if you get a trajectory on where the satellites are, you'll see them through your telescope. I've seen them myself. You can see the International Space Station. That's between us and the moon as well. You can see that. It'll tell you.
So in other words, you're telling me the space station is not in deep space?
Of course it's not in deep space. It's in orbit around the Earth.
And it can't show us a picture of the dark side of the moon?
Can't, unless it goes around the other side of the moon.
So if it never goes around the other side of the moon?
The moon is
48,000 miles away.
50,000 miles.
That's what they say. Oh, how come there's days that I can see clouds in front and behind the sun?
You can't see them behind the sun.
There's plenty of times.
In order to look behind
how
the sun,
could the
you'd
sun
have to look at the sun, and that would burn your eyes out of your head.
Well, I don't look directly into it. Of course
not.
not.
There's no such thing as clouds behind the sun.
Yes, there is. There's videos on it galore.
I'll have to look.
You look at that. Explain that to me, because there's certain days I see with my own eyes.
Whether the Earth is flat or round, the sun is billions of miles away from us. Because if it was any closer, we would melt.
Well, they're positioned perfectly, some kind of creator, because how do you explain the sun rays? How could they be hitting certain angles if the sun is in deep space?
Do you have any idea how powerful the sun is? And it's it's an average star.
Do you believe that the sun?
All the sun is a star.
That's what they say.
So who says? That's what they prove.
Well, they haven't really proved it. It's
just
a theory.
Really
it's like gravity. It's a theory.
So you haven't proven your point either. So
how? What do you mean?
Have you proven? How has the flat Earth conspiracy or the flat Earth society proven that the Earth is flat?
It's 200.
Prove that it's flat. Show me pictures of it's flat.
You don't have them on me. I would have to go online and show you.
You can't show me where it's flat. I want to see a side view of the Earth where it's flat.
Plenty out there.
Can't.
And there's real.
It's impossible. You can't. Because you're out there, you're just looking at a disc.
Oh.
But if you go up and if you look at pictures of these guys talking in the International Space Station, obviously we're not on it, so we can't prove it.
Okay, then.
But these guys on it, and you can see them flying, and you see the curvature of the Earth. That only happens.
No, it's a fisheye lens. They're fooling us, man. It's all fish. That guy.
So they're spending all this money.
No, they're spending our money, not their money. No. They're spending our money.
What would be
they are. They're hiding God.
What would be the point?
They're hiding God.
What? They're hiding God.
NASA is the complete opposite of God.
Okay, and then whatever your religious belief is, whether you believe in God,
I believe there's a creator that created this. I don't think we came from an explosion. When I was younger, when I blew up something, I didn't create anything. I blew up stuff. I destroyed stuff.
We'll all know someday.
Well, yeah, of course we do. But in the meantime, what do? We just believe NASA? NASA's lied to us.
NASA, NASA.
Well, who you believe in?
NASA's just an agency. NASA's just an agency. Who do I believe? I believe.
So is the IRS, but you don't pay your taxes, you go to jail. I don't want to argue with you, though.
I pay my taxes.
I don't want to argue with you, man. Research it. Just research it.
You know, like I said, I worked in aerospace almost my whole life. You know, I've seen the research, I've seen the math, I've done the math. The math says
you can see a lot of things on paper.
You know, yeah, theoretical physics could prove that an elephant can hang off of a string of grass hanging off a cliff.
Well,
can it really happen?
It's almost like talking like politics or religion, right?
That's right.
But me personally, I don't believe one word NASA says.
Well, it's not just NASA.
You know, I don't believe. Also, before I leave, I want to ask you.
Smartest minds in the world.
Smartest minds in the world. That doesn't mean they're not liars.
This is true.
You know, what about these people that become astrophysics?
What about?
And meanwhile, they're being taught, like we're being taught in school, even when we were younger, the first thing we ever see is a globe. We're indoctrinated. We've been indoctrinated to do that. All right, better go. All right, John. Oh, well, I want to ask you one more question. Does the moon get its light from the sun?
Yes.
Definitely not.
Absolutely.
Want to bet?
It's the light from space, from the sun, shining onto the moon.
All right, now, the sun and the moon give their own light.
No.
If you were to take a
does not give its own light. It has no thermal energy.
Yes, it does. If you were to take a magnifying glass, do it yourself. I've done it. Take a good magnifying glass on a good night where the full moon is out, capture that moonbeam, point it at the palm of your hand, it gets cold.
It can't put off its own light. It's a solid mass.
Then how is that possible? How is that possible?
How is what possible?
If you would take it, like when you were younger, you would take take a magnifying glass and maybe burn a bug or light a firecracker. Okay. But we never did it.
Into a pinpoint.
Of course, that's what we're doing.
Heat.
Well, the same thing with the moon. We never did it with the moon. If you were to do it, I've done it.
Can't.
Try it.
It's not possible.
Well, then you have to try it.
That's not.
Try it one day.
Okay. I'll try it today. I'll try it tonight.
If you could capture it.
I'll even wait for a full moon, but that's not possible. Moon
Let me know.
Does not give off its own light.
Well, I'm Frankie B. Flat. That's my channel. So leave a comment.
Okay, what is it?
Frankie B. Flat. Then I'll put this.
F-L-A-T?
Yes, Frankie with a capital F, Frankie, and then a capital B, and then Flat, all one word. I'll post this. I don't know what I'm going to head it, but look at my latest video. You'll be there. Okay, in the meantime, like I always say,
Got it.
all things must pass until our Lord appears.